Hi garden rebels, today's garden quick tip is about tomatoes. And if you haven't been able to get out and plant your tomatoes, not to worry. I have a solution to plant in the cold. And it might put you in a better mood yet. All those details coming up. Now, first of all, we're going to ignore all of those things we want to do. We want to get all of our vegetables right now and plant them in one big fell swoop. But what that does is it makes us wait on the weather, and that will sometimes put us in that bad mood that I was telling you about. Here is a quick and easy way to get started in your vegetable garden without having that full all-out garden day with picture perfect weather. We can plant in the rain, we can plant in the cold, but one plant that we particularly want to get started are your tomatoes. Here's the problem though, is when we plant early, we get hail and snow and lots of rain. And if it was just planted like that, yes, sometimes you'll actually get behind the game because your plants suffer out there in the real world. So here is the trick to get them going and make them happy early in the season. Now again, this isn't your all day long planting. This is a quick, fast, easy planting just to get your tomatoes on their way. I've chosen a passion pot. It could be any pot, but look at the size of this pot. So it holds roughly 10 gallons of soil, just about 1 cubic foot of soil in here. Now the nice thing about this passion pot, of course, it has a 3-gallon water reservoir, so that'll help me if I'm really busy and I don't get a chance to water my tomatoes properly. Though in this early spring, we're gonna hope that we get plenty of rain, and that'll help along as well. And the process is gonna be pretty straightforward as well. As we take our soil, and you can use our planting bar, by the way. It's under cover. You can see the nursery. You can plant your hanging baskets at the same time as your tomato. The soil and the root power is always free. You can meet new people or different animals. Want to make sure to plant it with root power. This is really, really important, especially for your tomatoes, because it has that extra calcium that the tomatoes will need to prevent that blossom end rot. That's where you get your tomatoes and they have a brown bottom, and it's due to lack of calcium or hot or dry, wet conditions when you water. So we want to take that root power and mix it in nicely. And this also is a chance to get your mood back. If you imagine that you have a really, really bad mood and you are just grouchy and crab potty to the maximum, is you move all of that energy into your fingertips like a ball, right? So you're just so angry and mad, and you put it into the soil, and let the soil absorb that bad mood. And you can just see yourself feeling a lot lighter. Let's go pick out our tomatoes. So we're in the vegetables section now. Now this is where you really make your big decision. Now today we're only going to plant one tomato, and it's that tomato where we want to really enjoy. Now if you want to hedge your bets, I always say go with the tomatoes that really produce well here. So that's going to be Early Girl, it's going to be Oregon Spring, and it's going to be Willamette. All three varieties will for sure get you a nice cutting tomato, slicing tomato this summer. Now, we're planting early, so for folks who want to plant those a tad bit later, here's another option, is to pick that one heirloom tomato that you really wish you could get tomatoes. This is going to increase your chances, but won't for sure get you those tomatoes that you want. So you can plant a tomato, be a little riskier and get an heirloom variety, or you can go and get the for sure slicing tomato a tad bit earlier. So many decisions. Early Girl, Brandywine. Early Girl, Brandywine. Now, an old gardener's trick is to plant your tomatoes deep. And so what I am going to do is plant it as deep as I possibly can, leaving a few leaves on top. So I am going to plant it just about to this level right here. I'm going to pluck off any of these newer leaves down below, plant it that deep. There. But we're not quite done yet, because now we have the little secret. This is what's going to get you tomatoes earlier. We are going to protect this with what I call a wall of water. Recently has been called a plant insulator. Take a look at how those columns of water will help insulate the tomato during the daytime. The sun rays will warm that water, keep out any of that cold wind that we might get, and protect our tomato as it grows. And it will essentially insulate it nicely, warming the soil as well as the tomato by these towers of water. And yes, you want to keep it outside in the rain, in the weather. It feels really, really good. It's kind of like that feeling where if you're going on a big trip and you marked it in your calendar so you have that thing to look forward to. That's what it is. Guys, that's the tips and tricks for this week. Always live your passion. It's gonna be hard to stop at just one.